Welcome back to IQ. We have historical figures for today's quiz. You have 30 questions and 10 seconds per question. Good luck! Before we get started, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future quizzes. Now, let's begin. Which US president said a day that will live in infamy? Hoover, Truman, Roosevelt, or Eisenhower? Roosevelt. Who was the lead singer of the punk band the Sex Pistols? Buster Bloodvessel, Johnny Rotten, Sid Vicious, or Freddie Fearsome? Johnny Rotten. Who was the leader of North Vietnam during the Vietnam War? Mao Zedong, Chiang Kai-shek, Pham Van Dong, or Ho Chi Minh? Ho Chi Minh. Who was the last Plantagenet King of England? Henry VII, Richard III, Edward IV, or Henry VI? Richard III. Who was the leader of the Huns who fought the Roman Empire? Attila, Genghis, Alaric, or Theodoric? Attila. Who had a dream in front of the Lincoln Memorial, Washington, D.C.? Jesse Jackson, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, or Muhammad Ali? Martin Luther King. Who was the French heroine who helped defeat the English in the 100-Year War? Mary, Joan, Elizabeth, or Marie Antoinette? Joan. Who wrote the Evolution of the Species book about natural selection? Carl Linnaeus, Georges Cuvier, David Attenborough, or Charles Darwin? Charles Darwin. Who is the Swedish environmental activist? Agnetha Fältskog, Zara Larsson, Greta Thunberg, or Alicia Vikander? Greta Thunberg. Who is the All-Father of the Norse gods? Balder, Odin, Thor, or Loki? Odin. Who was the only president in US history to resign from office? Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Bill Clinton, or Jimmy Carter? Richard Nixon. Who was the leader of Russia in World War II? Lenin, Beria, Trotsky, or Stalin? Stalin? Who was the first black president of South Africa? Nelson Mandela, Robert Mugabe, Julius Nyerere, or Marcus Garvey? Nelson Mandela. Who invented the internet? Steve Jobs, John Berners-Lee, Jeff Bezos, or Bill Gates? John Berners-Lee. Who made the first automobile? Louis Renault, Charles Royce, Henry Ford, or Carl Benz? Carl Benz. Who was the last English king of England? William, Henry, Harold, or Arthur? Harold. Who wrote a story about two cities and called it a tale? Charles Dickens, Wilkie Collins, Robert Louis Stevenson, or Daniel Defoe? Charles Dickens. Who founded the city that was later to be called Leningrad? Fyodor Dostoevsky, Nicholas Romanov, Joseph Stalin, or Peter the Great? Peter the Great. What scientist watched an apple fall and discovered gravity? Carl Sagan, Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, or Stephen Hawking? Isaac Newton. Who was the rock on which a church was built? John, Paul, Peter, or James? Peter. Who is in this picture? George Bush, Ronald Reagan, John F. Kennedy, or Lyndon B. Johnson? John F. Kennedy. Who was the Cuban leader during the missile crisis? Fidel Castro, Che Guevara, Emiliano Zapata, or Pablo Escobar? Fidel Castro. Who was the head of Nazi Germany's infamous SS? Heinrich Himmler, Joseph Goebbels, Adolf Hitler, or Hermann Göring? Heinrich Himmler. What famous black actor played the lead role in Heat of the Night? Danny Glover, Samuel Jackson, Sidney Poitier, or Morgan Freeman? Sidney Poitier. Who has played the most games in the FIFA World Cup? Antonio Carvajal, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lothar Matthäus, or Lionel Messi? Lionel Messi. Who is the longest reigning British/English monarch? Elizabeth I, Victoria, Elizabeth II, or Mary? Elizabeth II. Who first used a telescope to see the heavens? Michelangelo, Copernicus, Galileo, or Da Vinci? Galileo. Who said England expects every man to do his duty? Horatio Nelson, Francis Drake, Winston Churchill, or the Duke of Wellington? Horatio Nelson. Who invented the radio? Nikola Tesla, Guglielmo Marconi, Logie Bard, or Henry Ford? Guglielmo Marconi. Who is said to be the richest person ever? Mansa Musa, King Midas, Jeff Bezos, or Elon Musk? Mansa Musa. How well did you do? Share your scores in the comments down below or send it to a friend and challenge them to beat your score.